Hello. Update about the weekend's work. I don't know why I got the laser beams from my fingers coming now. Anyway, blank, boring environment. Two things. Gauges. They work, except the engine health status thing. That's just running some random stuff there right now. So basically, I'm gonna set it to auto hover now. This here shows how much I'm sliding forward or backwards or sideways. So if I'm trying to come to a static hover, that helps me to bring the red dot to the center. And then on that same sort of unit is the climb. It doesn't look like it's a separate unit. So if I climb, it goes like that. If I sink, it goes like that. And that one I showed already in the previous video, but in case you haven't seen it, that's also from this weekend. So that's my attitude gauge. Sort of shows your orientation thing. Radar is still old. That's just the thing that I didn't like. While back, it obviously doesn't even look too much like a radar, but I could have a pointer there and it would move in relation to my location. But that hasn't been properly fixed yet. These are all old, and as you can see, the text doesn't match, but they also operate. So if I climb, I can see that the climb rate goes up, and my speed, that's my like XY horizontal speed. It doesn't take into account sinking or climbing or sinking. And then the heading is just where my nose is pointing. But they all work. So then the general visual boringness is pretty alright. That hot 80s my vice gradient thingamaloney there, the talk about the hologram. It's kind of nice, and it's pretty actually, I would say, intuitive way of seeing how your ship is like if you're in relation to landscape and then the sinking, etc. There's also the vector of like my direction of my travel. That's that one line. It's that line is not very indicative, and then it has the actually, if I'm about to collide, it starts. If you look at there, don't, but also now that it's additive, it barely shows up against bright colors. Well, I'll do it like this so that you can see it now. Or I'm gonna hit there, so it shows the direction where the collision risk is. But I don't like the visuals. It's a bit tricky. It just doesn't fit to the general mood. Then another thing is that I haven't really touched on any video that I'm gonna be working on still. Haven't worked now this week, but previously is the new layout of the ship. So you can't really see it much, but let me stand up. The backside is still the old one. So the old ship, you can see the ball there. It's like I'm now working on a ship that's kind of mixture of those two sets of dimensions. But that's how far it was. Like it's you're not in 3D, so you can't see the depth. That's why I'm moving. But the whole ship is going to be much shorter. I might extend it just a little bit. That might not be exactly right, but it's now much more of a contained size. Then I have tried my gun unit either horizontally or vertically. It's originally designed to be vertically, so that it can like kind of slide into a pylon attachment points there. Main engines are here, and they that laser point. I'll talk about that in a second. There should be quite a nice feature that they are so close to your line of sight. So when I sit down here, when I yank the throttle, I want to make so that there's some kind of visual representation. Right now the audio doesn't even, like there's no pitch change or spooling up of the engine. Also I had earlier like a running average for the main engines to make it smoother and to kind of have a lag to your input, which makes it feel more realistic. But that needs a lot of kind of tweaking so that doesn't start feeling floaty. When you don't have immediate response to your controls, you can get a little bit to the pukey town. With VR, you have to be careful with that. Then placement of the windows. This side is wrong, that side is right. So I brought the landing gear forward, at least for current thinking, that's right, so that when you land, you can kind of have a peak. Right now it doesn't even stick to the ground because it's still using the old collisions. But then basically you can then, from both of these windows, get peak outside. There's a whole mess up with these that's old stuff. The way I'm rendering the screens, but now the new screen is going to be rendered inside this gadget, and then the buttons are actually being rendered here, but then they'll get textured into buttons here. So this is just a sort of me trying to figure out the programming on how to run those things. But I'm not going to have this thing where there's a button and next to it the screen that refers to the button, but it's going to be that the button is in the screen. Now it's annoying because I can't hit them. My finger disappears. But that's it. So the dash work, pretty good progress. I haven't sorted out the new sort of toggling system, how I switch from one screen to another, which is a big thing. That's coming up next. I'll try to get this week the audio, RPM for the engines sorted out, and then get that also displayed here. This is supposed to show the RPM or the thrust or whatever, like the kind of power setting of these main engines. RD, which is the rudder, that's also an engine here for yaw, and then relevant health. But right now it's just cine curves because I'm just been debugging the color shifting and other stuff. So yeah, those are the main thing, and then there's a main health. So if you knock yourself over, hit into things, then the combination of either individual dilemmas or just an overall health issue will drop the health. What else? It's running pretty badly right now here. I didn't capture it right, but the screen texture sizes at least seem to hold just fine. We'll see. This is now not doing the render to texture thing that I want to do because I'm having a little bit of anti-aliasing issues there. I got some help online. I'll see if that helps me, if I can sort it out. But that's gonna be a big thing. Then all this flickery stuff should go out. But that's it. Good weekend. Bye.